Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ryan Dins, and I'm going to discuss with you what's better, AT&T or Verizon? AT&T or Verizon? So let's get into it. A lot of people prefer AT&T because of the 7% dividend, and I personally have a lot of AT&T at the moment, and it really is nice to have that 7% dividend. So, like, you know, for example, if you had $100,000 of AT&T, you're going to get $7,000 every year. If you have $1 million worth, you're going to get $70,000 worth every year for doing absolutely nothing, and that's great. And you know, being the AT&T, it's reliable. It's not going to go anywhere. It's pretty reliable. So it's not like you're going to one day wake up and your $30 AT&T is going to drop to 10. It's not a risky stock. You know, most hedge funds have a lot of T. You know, it's one of the most stable companies there are. But you know, let's get to the negatives of it. The growth is not really there. You know, it peaked years ago in the 50s, not the 1950s. Like the highest it ever got was in the 50s, and then it's just been kind of doing one of these little roller coasters up and down, and it really hasn't exploded. You know, we're hoping it will eventually, but I'm not that concerned with that when I'm buying AT&T. The main reason I'm buying AT&T is for the dividends. So now that you have that, you also have Verizon on the other side. The dividend is not as good. It's in the low 4s currently. So you're not going to get that crazy dividend. You're not going to be able to just accumulate dividends that way. However, the growth potential is much higher in my opinion. The price to earnings ratio is lower. It's around 12, you know, whereas AT&T is like around 18. So basically, Verizon is very, very undervalued right now, and they are doing major things. The ad network Yahoo Gemini recently got bought out by Verizon, so they have all their traffic. That's going to be billions a year in extra added revenue right there. You know, they're constantly expanding, and I just see a lot of growth potential with them. They're very undervalued, very, you know, very stable. I don't see them going anywhere. So, yeah, either of them is good. I mean, personally, I own both of them. I own more T because right now I'm looking to get that. I like that higher dividend. But recently, I've started to look at Verizon a little bit more. I think I'm going to accumulate more in the next few months. It's just a really good stock. Both of them are very stable. Like if you look at most hedge funds, most ETFs, you know, a lot of them have those. I would say most of them have both of them, because you know, when you're using my strategy, which is to get rich slowly and carefully through years of stable investments, you don't want anything that is risky. Neither of these are risky. I think they're both going to, you know, probably go up 50% in the next few years. That's just speculation. I don't know. Nobody knows what it's going to do, but they're definitely not going to go down 50%. I mean, these companies are strong. They've been around forever. They own this and that. They all got all sorts. They're not just phone companies. They also have all sorts of other diverse, you know, businesses. So yeah, I would say either of them are a good call. But right now, what I'm personally invested more in is T, because that, you know, 7% dividend, it is the highest dividend of any company that is incredibly stable. You might say, oh, well, such and such has 9–10%. Like, is it as stable as AT&T? Because it probably isn't. I can't think of one company that is like as guaranteed, you know, not going anywhere. Because people are using cell phones, people are watching television, and like, that's not going to change. So until they invent something where you could just go, and somebody will hear you in a different state, or you know, whatever kind of alien telepathy methods. If they invent alien telepathy methods, then definitely sell all your AT&T and Verizon. But until they invent telepathy, then I think they're pretty stable. And when they do invent telepathy, I'm sure they'll be the first ones jumping on it. Like, how do we make more money through alien contact? But that's a different story. The most important thing is that you keep doing your research, keep buying stocks, keep accumulating, and eventually you'll be able to live off the dividends. And that is a lesson for today, folks. Have a great one.